Hi, I'm Hannibal, and everything is all cartoony. Nice. This is our first anniversary. Happy birthday to the channel. This video is on the same day that we released the trailer last year. Not Hannibal isn't here, so you've just got me. Trying a new thing in this vlog. Basically, as you can tell, there's drawings all over the top of it. Yeah. There's kind of a long story to this, so settle in. We've been trying to film this vlog literally forever. This is the third attempt. The last two ones did have not Hannibal in it, but we've decided just to try and go with me just for this one to see how it goes. I cannot explain how amazingly terrible the last two tries were. The first one we sort of did a bit more of a wing it approach, as in we kind of knew roughly what topics we were going to say and cover, and we just tried to talk about it, and that was awful and jarring. In the second one, Not Hannibal wrote a whole script. It was all sketched out. We rehearsed, we remembered our lines, and we did it, and then we went to edit it, and then Not Hannibal edited it, and it was even worse somehow. I love watching vlogs, you know, it gets really interesting. And people come across so natural, and they talk so easily with the camera and like to you as the viewer. And we can't do that. We are the worst at doing that. It was awkward and forced, and it seems so unnatural and uncanny. So those two vlogs that were both the third one trying to do are never going to see the light of day, except for maybe in some bloopers where you can actually understand just how bad it is. It's really upsetting because I always thought of vlogging as being the more, you know, like the easiest YouTube thing to do. You don't have a lot of edit that you have to sort of match. It's more sort of, oh, I finished talking about that subject, there's a massive pause, I'll cut here, cut here, cut here. And instead it was, oh, it was atrocious. It's the most difficult video I've ever had to do because I think I'm not playing a character. I wanted the vlogs to be, I mean, I'm still Hannibal, but I wanted to sort of talk to you more as if I would talk to you as the person playing Hannibal. And I come across just really badly. I really worry about how I come across most of the time, but I feel like when I am Hannibal, it's sort of a bit of a joke, like, aha, it's not really me in that sense. So if I come across as a bit of a douchebag, it's who I'm playing. But when I was doing the vlogs, I just seemed so, not necessarily awkward, because I don't necessarily mind awkward, but pretentious and unlikable. And being likable, this sounds really lame, but it is a massive issue for me. I hope other people are like this, but I want people to like me. And I don't know where that comes from. Somewhere deep down I hate when someone doesn't like me for no reason. I remember at school, there was one girl in my class and she despised me, and other people would notice it, like, wow, she really doesn't like you. And I never found out why. She was really nice to other people. She didn't seem like a malicious person, but somewhere at some point in time, I must have done something to really upset her. And then from that point on, this is from like year 7, like the beginning of secondary school, she just hated me and I never knew how to react around it. And maybe if I could go back, I go, hi, sorry, what have I done? I don't remember being horrible to you, but I'm sorry. And maybe it was just how I was as a person that upset her. Maybe I did something I didn't realise. And to be really honest, if I actually ran into her now, I probably wouldn't ask, because I'm terrified of human interaction. But I really worry that I don't come across very well in these YouTube videos at all. So if anyone has any pointers, obviously, on how I could improve that and not seem like such a terrible person, that would really, really be helpful. Sorry, you're going to get a lot of ums from me because I'm not very good at talking continuously. So basically, because we've messed up the last two vlogs, blah, 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 we're trying a different approach, mainly because we thought, well, we had a discussion, why aren't these working? These look really bad. A lot of it's when I talk, I do a lot of stressy hand movements, which isn't really something you want to watch. And I feel like we were both very nervous in front of the camera because we didn't know what we were doing, because we were just sitting there talking to you, but at the same time, we were meant to be talking to each other. And if you sort of plan that, you're not trying to act, you're trying to be yourself at the same time, it becomes very difficult. It's a lot easier to act as someone and have a conversation than to be yourself and perform a scripted conversation, which sounds ridiculous as I say it, but there we are. So we thought it'd be a lot easier if you actually couldn't see us and you could just hear us, and there's maybe some interesting pictures over the top with my really bad drawing style. So I think a lot of it is to do with mainly our nerves. I don't know, Hannibal's not here to defend himself, so mainly my nerves, I would say. I think the animated thing is hopefully working. I mean, it's a little bit more effort. I'm not so good at drawing on the computer. I've only really started doing it recently. I do a lot more hand drawing. I mean, my drawing's not that great or anything, but I sort of thought, yeah, you know, it's easier to do it on the computer, and the colours always look nicer, and you don't have to scan it or anything, and that takes ages. My scanner isn't that great either. But what we really wanted to talk about in this vlog, I keep saying we as if not Hannibal's here, which is kind of disturbing. Also, I apologise if I refer to myself as two people or more than one. I have a tendency to do that, which is a bit peculiar and a bit confusing. But, you know, the Sharky could be here, Bear could be here, we could all be having a great conversation talking about things. But no, so our name meaning, right, the Hannibal invasion. We're going to go back in time now. This is like a really, like once upon a time. And this actually starts off with 3 of us. There was me, Hannibal, not Hannibal, and Chris. When we all met at uni, and we wanted to do a YouTube channel, and it was gonna be amazing. But even before that, I wanted to do YouTube videos. It's really difficult. You don't know where to start, and you don't know, do I need some really good equipment? Do I need to do this? And, you know, money is always involved. So the 3 of us sort of got together, we're going to do this, it's going to be amazing. And stuff happened eventually, and it all got awkward. I mean, our living situation was very cold at the time, so we couldn't really store a lot of the camera stuff there, so we were storing at Chris's house. And then all of our kind of collective confusion on what copyright law is, because I feel like the law is very confusing, especially the law on YouTube at times, because, you know, fair use, and then some people still get flagged even because of fair use, and the whole procedure you have to go through is something that is, for someone who has a bit of a nervous disposition like I do, a major fear. So what ended up happening is we tried to do something, we got set back, we tried to do something else, we got set back. We wrote some quite good introduction videos, even if I do say myself, I look back at them and I'm like, oh, they were okay, oh, we should have done them. And it felt like a lot of false starts. We were trying to do more videos that didn't get there. We were trying to do this, it didn't get there. And then Chris, I'm going to put a link up to his channel and his videos, because he's great. He does little sketches, he does impersonations, he does voices, he can sing. Basically, I'm insanely jealous because I cannot sing or like do voices or anything, and I'm just like, why do you get all the talent? But anyway, his videos are great. You should check them out because he's a great guy and he deserves to be so much more popular than he is. We decided when Chris started up his channel, well, I should really, you know, I've been planning this for ages, I need to have a go at doing it, so come on, kick myself out the back. And I actually originally like set up the channel that I've been planning for ages in 2014. Obviously that's not when any videos came out, because I'm lazy, I panic about things, and I forget that I need to kind of just throw myself into it, set myself sort of deadlines, go for it, do it, hurry up. So if you're thinking about doing a YouTube channel now, just do it. Just like, who cares if it's filmed really badly, do it, progress, get better, hopefully get feedback. So that can be one thing I'm talking about. Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to get so used to these in vlogs. I'm going to just talk over like every single thing. It's like I can't just tell you one thing. It's like everything that ever built up into something needs to come into it. And I'm so sorry about that. Most of it's gonna get cut. But I wanted to make a channel by myself, and we kind of all 3 of us thought, right, we're each going to do our own channels. Chris had his Chris Griggo channel, I was going to have my channel, which I hadn't named at this point, and Not Hannibal was originally going to do a channel where he was sort of going into detail about films and sort of a bit more of a educational, intellectual kind of experience with some jokes, and I was going to do the pictures over the top for him. But he got a bit worried about his own channel and where it was going, and that didn't sort of take off in his brain of ideas in the same way. He can probably explain it a lot better. I mean, it's still in the pipeline. We're even thinking about, okay, maybe having some of them on Hannibal Invasion channel to see if that would be any good. But I originally had like loads of names I brainstormed for what I was going to call this channel, and none of them really, I thought, yes, this, I like this. I'm very bad with naming things. I'm the kind of person that if I'm playing like an RPG or something, I spend like 50 years thinking of the perfect name and it takes forever. But it was actually not Hannibal who came up with the idea of calling me Hannibal, and then it sort of evolved into the Hannibal invasion. Originally it was going to be Hannibal's invasion, but now because you have to link your Google Plus thing to name your channel, it's complicated, load of nonsense, and that was enough stress as it is, and it's really annoying, and oh my god, why'd you
Several ranting hours later.
And Google Plus! I don't want to use my own name. Anyway, the Hannibal invasion was born. Wow, okay, that was long-winded. I've been talking your ears off for like 10 minutes. I'm sure if you're still here, which you probably aren't, but, you know, you must have lives to get back to. Anyway, the whole major point of this was that if you type in the Hannibal invasion, even though Hannibal is spelled differently, we don't come up first, or even like 50th on the YouTube search results. What does come up, amusingly, is what we're referencing with our name. You've got Hannibal Lecter, either, you know, the TV series Silence of the Lambs, which, you know, I really like, which comes from the eat part in the logo, or Hannibal Crossing the Alps, which is, you know, the invade part of the logo. And me and not Hannibal thought they were a nice sort of reference, and you know, the invade eat thing kind of all together. I like TV and films, I like history, I like books, I like knowing about the world, I like fiction, I like non-fiction. So that's kind of what it was. We're kind of sort of buried by our references, but at the same time, even if we had a name that didn't reference anything, I still don't think it would be a bit of a problem. We might come up maybe nearer the top in search results, but no one will be searching for us anyway, because we're still a really small channel. And sometimes that really does, I don't want to say like bum me out, because that's not what it's about, but it worries me because I don't know how to improve, I don't know how to get better, I don't know how to reach more people. And that's kind of what the biggest thing is, because I worry that we're not reaching enough people, and therefore I don't know if what I'm doing is on the right path. I know there's a lot of, oh wow, does it work for you? But sometimes some of the jokes I write are really niche and really specific. So in the Second Lead Thoughts, when we were talking about Days of Future Past, you know, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I'll put a link to it here so you know which one I'm talking about. The beginning actually starts out as a Monty Python reference, which is basically the bishop. And because we didn't want to show any of it, we were originally actually going to do some silly music and some black and white stuff like in the sketch, but we thought, no, we're not going to do that. That might be a bit too difficult at the moment. Because we were on a bit of a deadline. And I get it. I mean, even not Hannibal says, you know, oh, no Monty Python references. But I still worry if it's far too niche for someone to understand. Not that being niche is a bad thing, but, you know, is this niche as in the fact that I get it, and if I explain it to you, someone might get it. So maybe obscure is a better word. Or, you know, niche as in it's only my thing. But, you know, that's an issue. I would like to reach more people because I would like to know how to improve. I've talked about this again in this video and I feel like I'm just repeating myself here. But that's a really big thing. I'd like to be able to build a sense of community. I'd like to meet people. And as someone who gets quite nervous around people, I feel like this is as much putting myself out there as I kind of can. I'm trying to be like very honest, especially in these vlogs, and talk about things that I enjoy. So maybe other people will want to talk to me too and share their work with me, and it would be really, really cool, basically. Yes, so we've been here a year. That's crazy. In some aspects, it feels like we've been here so much longer. I can't even remember what it was like to not think, wow, I've got to do some YouTube videos. And then in some ways, it feels like we've just been here 5 minutes. And I know that's really cliche, but I can't explain it any way better. I feel like videos have been really helpful. Knowing that I make my own deadline, that I have to at least make one a month, and we've been trying to do more recently, and it is really helpful. One thing I feel like I was not built for education. I do like learning, but I mean our school system isn't great and there's lots of issues, and I'll talk that in another video about how we can improve that, because, you know, time, and gosh, I'm talking a lot. But at university I did like the aspect of, right, here's your deadline. You've got to get your work in, you've got to do drafts, you know, you can send them to lecturers, you can go over them, you can do them, and I really, really enjoyed that. It felt like there was goals, there was points, you know, get this in, get it marked, get feedback, get this drafting, get it in, get feedback, work on it, do it again, make it better, here is when it has to be in for. And if anything, education sort of built me into that aspect of, there's the exam date, revise, do it, it's done, right, get your marks back, did you do okay, excellent, okay, we can go on, did you not do okay, you might have to resit that, but here's another goal, here's another target, practice for it, get ready. And ever since I've come out of that, all I know is that being an adult, or being in real life, is kind of just a meandering mess. No one knows what they're doing, I don't know what I'm doing. the few people that seem to know what they're doing, most of my friends don't know what they're doing. There's a couple of them I'm like, wow, you have your lives really together. And then you scratch the surface and you ask them questions and they're just as panicked as you are. They're like, yeah, but I don't have this, this and this. And I'm like, yeah, but you have this. They're like, well, that's not important. And maybe we focus too much on the things that we don't have instead of the things we do have. I mean, for me, it's probably the biggest worry is I don't make a lot of money. I don't have a job that is perhaps what I saw myself doing, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But, you know, I see people with jobs that I think, wow, you're really successful and you've got all this and that's amazing. But maybe from their aspect, it's just, wow, I wish I could have something else instead. Whether, I don't know, a lot of people seem to focus on the same sort of things. Like, do you have a good job? Are you stable? Do you have a family? Things like that. Do you have friends? So maybe I shouldn't worry about that too much. I'm sorry, I'm getting off track again here. Terrible. So videos are helpful because I'm like, wow, I have to get one out a month. I need to do this. I need to do this. And you get to work on something and then you get to produce something and make something and put it out there and put them on YouTube. It's kind of like, whew, that essay's in, done. And that makes me quite happy. It makes me a bit more mentally stable. I think this is my goals, this is what I've got to do. So I really do enjoy doing that. I mean, if anyone is similar to me and has that, man, I recommend doing videos because you feel like you can't let people down. I feel like that's a big thing for me. When I know I'm just letting myself down, I'm really terrible because I'm like, wow, who cares about me? Next. When I feel like I could be letting someone else down, I get really worked up. So I'm like, I can't do this. I can't let people down. I've said I will do this, which is sometimes makes me my worst enemy. But videos are great and it's been a terrifying journey. I feel like me and Not Hannibal, obviously we're in a situation where we can't keep playing the same game over and over again. And I feel like I'm nearly 25 now and that shouldn't be a big thing. Like you always see it on like on TV and stuff and people are like, oh, we're turning this age. And it shouldn't be a big thing. It really shouldn't. It isn't a big thing for other people to turn whatever age they are turning. It's a bigger issue for me that I am turning that age. And not because, wow, you're getting older, you know. It's more like, wow, I haven't done anything with my life. And I have this argument, well not argument, sort of discussion with Not Hannibal a lot, that if I live forever, because man, I'd love to live forever, I would get so much more work done than knowing I have a deadline, which goes against what I've been saying about I need to get everything out as a month. I like having deadlines. And Not Hannibal's like, wow, no, you procrastinate, you know, you put things off for centuries. But I feel that if I knew I had forever, then I can easily not do something one day. When I know, say I have several things to do, I've got to do a video, I've got to work on writing, I've got to draw a picture, I've got to go to work, I've got to do this, say I've got 5 different things to do. Sometimes I get so cluttered in my own head that I can't focus on any single one of them because I'm like, whoa, while I'm spending time on this, I'm not spending time on that. But if I knew, say, wow, you've got forever to do this in, there is no end of deadline, there is no, I hate that I'm referring to death as a deadline, this is quite sinister, but why not focus and take your time and do something properly, and then you can do the other things properly, and it's okay because you've got forever. So it's like my idea on the world is kind of split in two there, and it's strange because setting your own deadlines and being like, I'm going to do this in this time would be okay in the aspect of having forever to do it in, and that's just ridiculous. But anyway, that's how I see stuff. So because I don't have forever yet, I will find a way to live forever. Me and Not Hannibal are going to have to, even though we've only just started to try and do more videos a month, are probably going to have to step back again because we need to survive. We need to get more finances and boring adult things like that. So I really do apologise if I can't speak to you as often as I would like to, because it is really helpful and I'm just sitting in a room here talking to myself and imagining that you're sort of listening, which is terrible. But yeah, I mean, if this vlog thing actually works, I might do some more of these. Just sitting, talking to you about things. I want to do one, which is hopefully the next one I'm going to do. I said that about other things, that it never works out and I'm terrible, but I'd love to do one which is just a combination of customers I have served at my different jobs, which are just hilarious. Obviously, I won't be telling you which job I was doing at the time or what these customers were like or if I knew their names, but I'll just be telling you some fantastic stories of what it's like to work in customer service and you're just like, oh no. So yeah, hopefully I'll be doing one like that. I can't believe we've been here a year. If you want to talk about anything in particular, or if you want to see any particular videos on anything, please give me a comment. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Check out my array of unnecessary social media below. I mean, I've got like a Vine, I got Tumblr, which mainly I just use because I'm like, wow, that's a funny picture of a cat. which is terrible. I got Pinterest, which mainly I just use to look at pictures of cats. There, I see an ongoing theme going on here. No, I've got Twitter, there's Facebook. There's loads of ways to get in contact with me if you want to and talk about being socially awkward with me. So yeah, here's my question for you. If you've managed to reach the end of this video, do you find it easy to interact with other humans? Like something that you enjoy doing, or does it make you really, really nervous? I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully I'll see you next year as well, and we'll still be going. Thank you for listening. We love you guys. Veniti. Wow, you have reached the end. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. How long did I talk for? Minutes? Days? Is it 50 years from now? Well, it could be. Anyway, look, there's some other vlogs we've done. Nice. Here are some videos we've done, which is also nice. Maybe you give them a watch. You hit the subscribe. Hit the like. We depend on you guys to continue. Love you.